Hey everybody, Jesus loves you. My name's Cody. You're watching the Monday episode of the Christian News Show thing that I do, and I usually insert some kind of Jesus nerd culture reference right here. Truth! Alright everybody, so it's good to be back. I really missed you guys. I left all of that information of updates and things in the description below. I'm going to try to stay away from updates here because they get really long, even though this is one of those updates. But anyways, all other updates can be on my vlog channel, which is in the link below, and I'll tell you guys when there's important vlogs to watch. And from that, we go on to the first story of the day. And for our first story, I thought we'd talk about a couple movies coming out that would be awesome. And the first movie I wanted to talk about was The Greater Glory. And the movie is about the Cristero War between the Catholics and Mexico. And the movie's about like religious freedom and stuff, but it looks kind of like an action movie because it's about a wartime, which would be kind of cool. From the picture, it looks gonna be kind of westernish. I don't know much about that war, so I'm excited just because I like learning about like war history and stuff like that. And the fact that it's a Christian movie makes it awesome in itself. And the other movie that's coming out is called Hard Flip. And if you guys have seen the movie To Save a Life, it's got Randy Wayne who played the main character in that movie. And I like that actor just in general. I saw him in like a Dukes of Hazzard movie that was really funny. He's just a really good actor, so I'm excited for that because he puts out good movies, and we need more good Christian movies. For a while, there just weren't Christian movies that were good. And then To Save a Life came along, and that kind of changed the game a bit, so I'm just really excited for these Christian movies, and anything that he's in just seems awesome. They also have the actor who plays Johnny in To Save a Life, so it's gonna have a good cast for sure, a bunch of like pro skateboarders. Because the movie's about skateboarding, and the hard flip is a skateboard trick if you don't know that. Some of you might not. Anyways, I figured I'd show you a clip of the trailer so you guys kind of know what's going on with this, and it looks like this.
Skating is my future, okay? I want to see how good this guy really is. And Joey, you make sure he shows up for this thing.
I mean, that's just a small part of it, but you guys need to go see this movie. I'm gonna go see this movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I know it's gonna be a good Christian movie. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I just get excited when I see Christian movies. But this should be legitimately good. And our next story is about a student athlete with Down syndrome. Michigan High School wasn't going to let him play because he was 19, and the school rules state that if you are 19, you are not allowed to play in the school sports. The idea is that you don't have kids slacking in academics, and they have to do well in school to play sports. Eric, who has Down syndrome, was held back in kindergarten, and so he was unable to play because of this. So the students petitioned, his father went to the school board, things like that, and he is now able to play this next final season of the senior year. Which personally I think is really great, but I'm kind of wondering what you guys think. In all honesty, what I think needs to change is the rule. Because the whole idea is that if you're a super senior, or whatever you want to call it, then you can't play sports. But why don't they just make that the rule that if you're a super senior, then you can't play sports? Because if you had that as the case, then it's not really a big deal for Eric personally. But even if a kid gets held back in his high school years and he has some kind of disability, I think he should still be able to play, especially if he's capable of playing. This kid is like doing three-pointers and like kicking field goals and stuff. It's not like he's not athletic. This dude really actually plays the game pretty well. But what I'm kind of wondering with you guys is, do you think that this is awesome, this is the right thing to do? Because I think it was people doing the right thing. But on the other side, I can see how this is kind of discrimination to let this student go and not let any of the other students go. So, I don't know. I'm just going to go on to the next story, and you guys can tell me what you think about that. That's not the question of the day. I'm just curious about your guys' opinions, because they matter to me. And our next story is about mutant spiders in India. So they weren't like really mutant, but there was a swarm of spiders that went to a small town in India and just started attacking people in an organized fashion. Now this happened like way back May 8th. But the news story is just getting out to America right now. Specialists have just been over there trying to figure out what kind of spider these were, and they can't figure out what species it was. They're trying to figure out if it's like a tarantula or like a black wishbone, but they think it might be just a completely new species of spider. What they do know is that it's not native to that part of India because there aren't any venomous spiders in that part of India, but these spiders have killed 2 people and given tons of injuries, and a lot of people are going to like these witch doctors who like do all this stuff to the blood and burn it and stuff, and it doesn't really help with the venom because it's not something they've really dealt with yet. So to make things worse, they're kind of just infecting these bites, and they don't know how infectious this venom actually is yet. I just thought it was interesting, especially with all the other news stories going on lately about zombies and other things that make me feel like I need to read Revelations a little bit closer. So that and watching SourceFed's thing on organized spiders, and now there's a swarm in India. It's kind of creepy. The news story also gives a pretty good segue to Stephen King, who I didn't really think I'd be talking about on here. And the reason we're talking about the King of Horror today is because Pastor Paul Zoll said to CNN that he is a great Christian author. And if you guys don't know the author Stephen King, you've probably seen a lot of movies based off of his books, like It, The Shining, Children of the Corn, some really dark horror movies. But according to Reverend Zoll, all of these are Christian novels. And Stephen King does a very good job of portraying Christian values within these. And in fact, he has 2 explicitly Christian movies. Desperation and The Stand are both about Christians and about faith. But a lot of these other movies do have a lot of Christian values when you look into them. Talking about the weak leading the strong, the misfits being the heroes. There's a movie called Salem's Lot where the priest is asked if he really has faith, and he falls, he fails, and the child succeeds. The Bible verse, you must be like the children if you ever want to get into the kingdom of heaven. They were unable to get an actual interview with Stephen King about the topic. It was something that was brought up, but it was really interesting. I thought it was perfect for the question of the day. What do you guys think about horror movies? Do you think that horror movies are good for Christians to watch, bad for Christians to watch? Why? And from that, we'll go on to the verse of the day. The verse of the day is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 27. Give no opportunity to the devil. So do you think the horror movies are giving opportunity to the devil, or do you think that they're just kind of a weird entertainment that people, they find it exciting, it excites them, it gets them thinking or something? Anyways, that's all that I really found interesting in the news today. So, in closing, haters keep hating, Christians keep praying. To everybody, like and subscribe. I will see you later, and God bless.